Hi, my name is Jamie Bigger, and I want to talk about attitude. So over the last couple of days, we've been getting a string of bad news internationally and nationally. Politicians trying to manage down our expectations for Copenhagen, saying, oh, there's not going to be a treaty. There'll be a political agreement, but there's not going to be a treaty. And part of what I've seen in response to that is a lot of despair amongst people that want Canada to be a climate leader, amongst people that want to live in a just world where we have overcome the challenge of climate change. I've seen a lot of despair. And to that I say this: remember the words of Gandhi. Gandhi said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. Right now we're in the fight stage big time. And there are two things that our opposition in the oil industry and its political allies want. There are two kinds of Canadians they want. They want Canadians that are confused about the climate science and solutions, and they want Canadians that are too demoralized to act. They want Canadians that are too embarrassed by our domestic inaction and global obstruction. They're so demoralized that they're just going to sit it out. They're going to be quiet. They're not going to talk to anybody. Which is part of why it's so important that you come out here tonight, is because when they say we want you confused and demoralized, what I say is we're going to be focused and passionate. Today you're going to fight us, tomorrow we're going to stay focused and passionate, and we're going to win. If we do this right, if we mobilize well enough between now and Copenhagen, even a weak political agreement is going to build the kind of social energy that is necessary to overcome the invested interests and create a real deal going forward.
Has been completely devastated by pine beetle. And there's already jobs being lost. I have lots of friends from Prince George that every spring now have to deal with flooding in their own community, and it really is, we're feeling it now. And youth are going to keep feeling it really more. And I appreciate the words of Guy and Andrew telling that it is our responsibility, but we need you to stand with us. Yeah. And for a lot of young people who aren't engaged, it's because they feel so helpless by having picked up this mantle of the fossil fuel regime and knowing that if something isn't done in our lifetimes, there isn't going to be another generation. That's a lot of pressure. And we're doing our darndest, but we do really need to stand together. And with the Canadian Youth Delegation, we have a lot of really awesome campaigns going on and ways for each of you to engage with what we're doing. So I just wanted to talk a bit about that now. So the first thing is we have several really awesome campaigns that are going on. So every Monday we are doing our It's Time to Listen campaign, where we've been doing flash mobs in cities all over Canada. We have one in Victoria, and we're getting hundreds of people to call into their members of parliament and to Harper and Ignatieff. And I'd encourage you all to do that. The numbers were up and are available. The other thing we're doing now is called a 5-for-5. So the next 5 days we're asking everyone to talk to either 5 people a day to tell them to call their MPs. There's 1,000 of us in the room today. If each of us can get 5 people to also call, then that's 5,000 people. If we can get 25 people to call, that's 25,000 people. I hope I did the math right on that. So I'd really encourage all of you not just to call tonight, but to get all of your friends and your families to call, because we really need to be reaching out beyond the people in this room and getting everyone engaged on this issue, because it's really going to be those polling numbers and then those phone calls that make the difference. So that's one. Number 2, Maya talked about how we've been fundraising. And as young people, a lot of us are either students or saddled with student debt. We're also fundraising to send to delegates from the Global South that are traditionally underrepresented at these and are going to be the ones who are feeling the impacts the most. So we have a donation box out at the Common Energy table, and those funds will be directed to delegates from the Global South. Third thing is also, like Elizabeth, we are going to be in Copenhagen and sending back messages every day. We have a new media team that is going to be putting together newscasts and podcasts as well as blogging over there, so I encourage all of you to check that out. Our website is www.cydcopenhagen.com, and we're also all over Facebook.